Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. In this video, we're going to be talking about graphing linear equations. I'm going to be doing the prerequisite skill question 1 from the textbook McGraw-Hill Ryerson Functions 11. And if you want any private tutoring from me, or you want to enroll in my grade 11 functions course, visit my website www.tutor.ca. Okay, so let's begin on graphing these relations. We're going to do all 4 of them. Now, you notice that they're written in different ways. So for example, this line right here and this line right here, they're both in slope-intercept form, right? Intercept form. And that's how we want a line to be if we're trying to graph the relations, right? This is in standard form. Okay, so I'll draw it with a different color. So standard form. It's called standard, right? And this one is, well, this one's actually technically still in slope-intercept form, but it's a little harder to see. So a little bit trick there. So remember, what the question's even asking is, this is some sort of relationship between x and y, a variable x and a variable y. And if I were to graph this relation, right, I'm going to get some kind of line like this. That's kind of the shape. And I know that because they are linear relations, and that means x is to the power of 1. The highest power of x is 1 here. But anyways, that doesn't get in the way of us solving. So essentially, you can always solve by making a table of values. But I think it's better with lines. It's just a better way of going about doing it. And so what we want to do first is we want to put our x and y axis up, because this is what we graph our lines on, right? And I'm going to just assume here that you understand that every box is 1, right? Every box is 1. This is going positive. This is going positive. This is going negative. This is going negative. So like this is the point 1, 3. Right? So now, first of all, with the line A, which I'll do in red, right, we're going to have y equals 3x minus 1. And we have to identify a few things. The slope of a line, okay, that's called the slope. And that's called the y-intercept. Okay, y-intercept. In general, lines are written, when you write it in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. And so m is your slope, b is your y-intercept. So the y-intercept is pretty self-explanatory. It's where the line intercepts the y-axis. So it intercepts at -1. So I would say on the y-axis that is -1. So we know we have a point there from the y-intercept. And now our slope will tell us the next points. So a slope of 3 tells me that if I take 1 step to the side, I'm going to go up by 3 to get my next point. 1, 2, 3. Right? And the reason for that is if you take the slope out, the slope is always rise over run. Okay, and 3 is the same thing as 3 over 1. So the rise is 3, and the run is 1. Run is how far you're going to the right. Rise is how much you're going up. So my next point is going to be there. And similarly, to get the next point after this, I'm going to go 1 to the side and 3 up. I could also go 1 to the left and 3 down. And that would be the same thing. That's kind of like making both of these negative. And a negative on the top and negative on the bottom would cancel. So altogether, you can actually just get away with drawing 2 points. That's enough, but I thought I'd draw a couple more here. And once you've drawn enough points that you feel like you can connect all the dots, then go ahead and do that, and this will be the line that you get like that. Okay, let's carry on to question B, or part B. Part B I'll do in green. So y equals -1/4 x plus 5. Okay, again, we need to identify the slope and the y-intercept. So that would be the slope. Okay, the slope is -1/4. But what you want to do when there's a negative sign is you want to put the negative sign either on the top or on the bottom. And it doesn't actually matter, but I would recommend putting it on the top. Okay, because remember, we need to have this in, to think about it like rise over run, right? So -1 is our rise and run is 4. We'll talk about that in 1 second. I then need to identify my y-intercept. Okay, and that's that number that I'm adding at the end. So here I was adding a -1, so I went down, but now I'm adding 5. So now that means that our line, y equals -1/4 x plus 5, is going to go through the y-axis at the point 5 right there. And then from the slope, I can find my next point. The rise is -1, the run is 4. What that means is if I go 4 places to the side, I will go down by 1 to get to my next point. So I can do it again. 4 places to the side, down by 1. I could go 4 places to the left and up by 1. That also works, right? Just kind of reversing everything there. And all together, you're going to plot a few points here, and you're going to get your line. So I can just plot that quickly here. There we go. Okay, so there we go. We've plotted 2 lines so far. That's part A and part B. So now part C is going to be a little bit trickier. Part C is 2x minus 3y plus 12 equals 0. Now this is notably not in slope-intercept form. This is not written as y equals mx plus b, right? But it is written in standard form. And standard form has some uses, but when it comes to graphing linear relations, it is not very useful. So what we want to do is we want to turn this into slope-intercept form. And we do that by just getting y by itself, right? So we just get y by itself by applying the same operation to both sides of the equation. So for example, I want to get this 12 out of here, right? Y, there's a lot of things in the way of y being alone. 2x, the -3, and the 12. Okay, but let's deal with one thing at a time. So to get the 12 out of here, I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides. Okay, those cancel, subtracting 12 from both sides, and all that's left is 2x minus 3y equals -12. Now I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. Okay, subtract 2x from both sides. And I just have -3y equals -2x minus 12. Okay, and then I'm going to divide both sides by -3. Okay, divide both sides by -3. And so I'm going to get y equals -2 over -3x. So you can distribute this denominator into both things here, minus 12 over -3. And you got to simplify at this point, right? So negative over a negative is a positive number, so that's 2/3 x. And again, negative over a negative is a positive, so 12 over 3 is 4. So it's going to be plus 4. And now that we know this, right, I can plot this with relative ease, right? I can now plot this as y equals 2/3 x plus 4. And now by the same process as we did the other ones, I'm going to go to my graph here. I'm going to identify the slope, right? The slope is 2/3, and the y-intercept, okay, is 4. So what that means is our line is going to cross through the y-axis at 4, and we're going to use the slope to find the next points. So remember, slope is rise over run. So you want to focus on the on the run first. So that means we go 3 places to the side and 2 places up to get my next point. 3 to the side, 2 places up. That's what this 2 over 3 is telling me, because that's the rise and that's the run. So there's my first 3 points, and I can plot another one here by going 3 places to the left and 2 places down. And either way, you can at this point just connect the dots and you will get yourself a line like that. Okay, I'm going to do the last one. Well, actually, the last one isn't too crazy, so let's just take a look. The last one over here, D. D is just y equals 6. And this is really a simple equation. You can just think of it like this. This is saying, where are all the points where the y value is 6? Okay, where are all the points where the y value is 6? Well, let's say, like, is the y value 6 here? No, the y value is not 6 here. What about here? Let's see, is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? No, it's 5. So here, the y value is 6 there, but the y value is also 6 here, and the y value is also 6 here, and the y value is also 6 here. And as you can see, all these points are forming a line, right? All these points are forming a horizontal line, right? So you can just think of y equals 6 as a horizontal line, at a height of 6, right? 6 above the x-axis. And there we go. Okay, that's all for this question. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Once again, if you want private tutoring from me, visit my website, tutor.ca, or if you want to enroll in my grade 11 functions course where I can teach you the entirety of grade 11 functions, feel free to visit my website, www.tutor.ca. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day.